And welcome to another special pop-up episode tonight, Behind the Gate with Scott and Kate, as we are thrilled to have a surprise installment tonight. And we'll introduce you to our guest in just a moment, but looking forward to tonight. So I just want everybody to sit back and relax and enjoy the show. And of course, I'm joined with co-host Caitlin Wesley. And this episode, as the previous three, have been brought to you by Advanced Appetite. So, just wanted to let you know who our guest is tonight. And for the introductions, I'm going to pass it on to Caitlin to introduce our guest tonight.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to introduce a rising star in the Nova Scotia harness racing. She's our newest female driver on scene, and she's definitely turning up the track. She's kind of, taking control of a lot of races, and she's proved herself so far in her first year. And yeah, I'm excited to introduce Monica Sutherland to the podcast tonight.
Hi, Monica.
Awesome. Yeah. So before diving in, on the screen, we have your stats from 2023, which was your first year driving. You had 105 starts, 20 wins, 22 seconds, 14 thirds. Like, that's pretty huge. I can't imagine just the thrill of all of that. So while we are at the stats, let's kind of dive in and talk about you and how you kind of got into harness racing.
Yeah, so that was a pretty awesome first year for sure. Like definitely more than I expected, but it was pretty awesome. But yeah, um, I got involved like mostly through my family. Like both sides are involved with harness racing. I guess you can say I was kind of bred into it, like my mom's side, my dad's side, but mostly through my dad and my grandfather. Like dad always had horses, so I kind of just got involved through him and we're still doing it together today. So yeah, it's a pretty family show, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah, that's an impressive stat line, especially the driving average, Monica. Very, very good. 351 in
Yeah.
105 starts. So congratulations, super year last year. And we're going to talk a little bit more about your foray down to the Meadowlands, and I can't wait to hear that. I've got a few questions for you on that. But Kate, you've got another question for Monica.
Yeah. Who was your first horse like you ever jogged and trained?
The first horse like I jogged with my dad when I was little, I would say, and then but the first horse I ever jogged by myself was one of our own was East Coast Trinity. So I think I was like 16. I was kind of late like getting into the jogging and training, but I was always around horses. I had my miniature pony that I kind of started with too in the cart, but first horse I jogged was a little later on, but I was glad I started then. We're still going now, so yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great. You must be happy to see the many horse events that are taking place across the Maritimes and getting all these youngsters pumped up for maybe driving like yourself someday.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome to see because that's how I started, I guess. So it's pretty
Yeah,
fun to watch. Yeah.
yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah.
So at what point did you, I know you started when you were around 16, as far as getting kind of serious about the business. Um, what was the defining moment that made you say, I want to be a driver?
I would say like I got my trainer's license in 2020 and then I did my first amateur race that year just kind of for fun with my own horse and even then I didn't really think I wanted to be a driver, just kind of wanted to focus on training, but I'd say after my first amateur race I was kind of hooked after that. So after that I just kept doing amateur races for like 2 years and got some more experience and confidence and then I went for my driver's license, but they definitely helped for sure. Made me realize, yeah.
Yeah. Kind of tell us about your very first drive as a professional driver. Who was your very first drive, and kind of tell us what emotions you were feeling in your very first time behind the gate.
My first drive was with one of her horses, East Coast Miss Haney. So it was her first start too. So we kind of had it together, both our first start. But yeah, I was pretty nervous, I guess, going behind the gate for the first time in a real race. But I think we ended up third, and I was happy with that. And just yeah, it all went good. So yeah,
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that was my next question. I was going to ask you where you finished in your first lifetime drive. So,
yeah, third anyway. So
oh, good stuff.
yeah.
Of course, the Maritimes is known for, especially sending out, a great trainer with Claire McDonald, who's also an outstanding driver. And any other women in the sport that you kind of look up to? Like I know in Canada here we have like Natasha Day and other women who have taken on the role of a driver. Is there anybody that you look up to besides Claire, and has she kind of been an inspiration for you?
Yeah, definitely Claire's my biggest inspiration and role model since a while. I always looked up to her. Like she's very successful, but I also follow like Natasha Day in Ontario and a few other girls like Julie Walker and Britt Kennedy. Like they're great drivers and trainers, so I like watching them too. But
Hey, Kate, I think you had a question for Monica.
Yeah. So you're driving and you get to drive a bunch of different horses. Is there a favorite horse that you currently like to drive?
yeah, I think I'd have to say my own East Coast Invader. Like we I kind of learned, we kind of did everything together since a while. Like but he's definitely my favorite to drive. He's real handy and easy, and he's easy to get along with. But as cranky, as mean as he may be in the barn, he's definitely my favorite for sure. Yeah,
Yeah, he's a nice horse. I've watched him race for a few years now, and usually catch you driving with him. So he's one of those horses you kind of like to cheer for.
yeah.
Um, got a question for you. What do you do outside of racing? Do you have any hobbies or kind of interests that might surprise some of our listeners?
Um, well, outside of racing, I work as an electrician, and I
Oh,
also
cool.
lobster fish with my father for 2 months of the year. So, and we live on a farm, so I help with that as much as I can. But it's busy, but it's good. And the horses, of course, too. After that, yeah.
Right on. So for the upcoming season, Kate, you were going to ask her about some possible goals and things.
Yeah, is there any like personal best goals that you're trying to reach this year? Is there something that you're really striving for?
I'm just hoping, have another safe and successful season, hopefully, and just keep improving and from last year and every start. And, my horses race good. I'll be happy with that. Just nothing in particular. Just, have fun and be safe pretty much. Yeah.
I see
Awesome.
you got to the 20 win plateau last year, so maybe we'll kind of set one for you here and cheer you on for 20 or more this year.
Yeah, hoping to get a few more wins for sure. That'd be nice. Yeah.
Awesome.
So this summer you had the opportunity to participate in the Young Guns Driving Challenge, and you got to drive here at Truro. When you first seen that list that came out and you seen that you were driving a horse named Barefoot Bud, which I'm very familiar with as it is, because he is in my stable. But what was your first thought, and what was kind of like the emotion that was going through your head of what was, what could happen that day, what you would like to have happened?
Yeah, I seen the list and we drew good and I seen him race a few weeks ago when Claire drove him off the front and he won. So I said, maybe if we get the front, he'll be okay. So, I wasn't really expecting a win or anything, but it was a pretty nice win for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, you had
You
some hot tracks, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Him out, he kind of likes he'll follow the gate out no problem. And when you hit quarter and 27-3, we were all like stunned that you had his attention, that you were right there with him, and everyone was still chasing you and he was still interested. So it was a really thrilling race for us as his owners, and someone that I've trained him, and he can be such a head case at times, just the way he is. And just to see him like partner up with you was really, it was an exciting experience, because sometimes he's touch and go horse, as you've seen and you've drove him. So it was a very exciting win for sure.
Yeah, no, it was pretty awesome to win that. He's a nice little horse for sure, and we the fractions were not really rated well, but it was just the way
Yeah,
it went. But yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah, 27-3, 57-1. Was he getting a bit tired at the tail end of her?
Yeah, at the end of her, but we kept him going, and sure enough, he won. So kind of
Oh,
leaving
that's
out,
awesome.
there was the horse kind of drove him on, so that's what he wanted to go, whatever.
Awesome. Well, we've got to ask you, Monica, of course, for any listeners out there that didn't know, Monica took part in the Meadowlands International Women's Day this past Saturday at the Meadowlands. And why don't you tell us, Monica, first of all, what did it feel like to get that? I assume you got a call or an email to invite you to, one of the biggest tracks, if not the biggest track in North America.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome for sure. Just such a great opportunity. It was just I seen they advertised there for it, so I just applied in the first 20 girls. So sure enough, I was lucky to be able to go, and yeah, it was awesome. The Meadowlands is so nice. It was, and the race went well, and we got a third, almost second, but I was pretty happy with that. Weather conditions weren't great, but it didn't matter. I
Uh,
was just happy to be there anyways. Yeah.
yeah, no, for sure. It must be. How did you feel about the adjustment from going like to a half-mile track that you're used to, and you've got the 9 hole at the Meadowlands, and it's a different type of beast on a big track like that.
Yeah, first time on a mile track, it was definitely different for sure. You gotta rate the race different and everything's different. It's a huge track, but yeah, even
Anybody
we
give you
it
any
all
po- Did anybody give you any pointers or anything on,
yeah,
yeah,
actually yeah, the day before on Friday I got to go to Gateway Farms, so I got to
okay.
trade like Keelan McDonald from M&S invited us out, so I got to train with Joe Hollingway on the 1 mile track. So that definitely helped doing that before I got to train 4 horses. So training on it
Okay.
definitely helped beforehand. Yeah.
Oh no, that's awesome. So
Yeah.
what other things did you do besides, of course, you took part in the race, but um, I know that you probably had a criteria when you were down there and got a chance to meet the other ladies, but including some fellow Maritimers. Of course, Mackenzie Sowers was there on Saturday night as well, and a young lady, Stacy McClenahan, who originated from the Miramichi area when she was young, and she was in there too. So, what did you kind of do to pass the time to leading up to the big event on Saturday night?
Yeah. So we got there on Thursday and we went to NHL, like the Devils, New Jersey Devils were playing. So we went to a
Oh,
game Thursday night. And
right on.
then Friday we went to Gateway Farms, which was unreal. Like just there's like over 700 horses there. It's quite a spot. So I got to train some really nice babies and actually got to jog Battlefield, the horse I was driving
Yeah.
beforehand. So that was pretty cool. And then just the whole farm. And then Saturday, the race, of course, was awesome. Got to meet all the girls and it's pretty awesome. Cool to meet all them and race against them for sure. And then Sunday, we spent it in New York City. So it
Oh,
was
wow.
crazy,
Nice.
but it was pretty nice. Yeah. And then we came home Monday. So
Awesome.
it was a great trip
Whirl,
overall. Yeah.
yeah, whirlwind trip. Anything, Caitlin, you wanted to ask about Monica's big trip to the Meadowlands?
No, not really. Listening to it, like I feel like the more I listen to her talk about it, the more I want to go. I want to be there. I want to do it. I
Yeah.
said off camera, I said to her, my goal has been to, do my trainer's license. Hopefully this year I can get them and
Yeah.
then work with drivers. I said, and Monica said, well, next time me and you should go. I was like, oh my God, that would be amazing. So I'm just like, I'm just taking it all in and being like, oh, how amazing it would be to just go and do an opportunity like that.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Great experience for sure.
Yeah. So is this maybe a yearly thing that they'll be having down at the Meadowlands every year?
I think so. Yeah. They had it last year and then this year.
Okay.
So I would say so. Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, hopefully you'll get a trip back to New Jersey next year again.
Yeah. I'd love to go back for sure. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks very much, Monica, for taking some time out of your schedule. You've had a busy last few days, so you must be a little tired with all the travel and everything. So just wanted to thank you very much for coming on with myself and Kate, and really enjoyed having you. And congratulations on your success down there. I was watching you and cheering you down the home stretch there. Thought you got the deuce, but you were pretty close.
Yeah. No, it's close for sure. But thanks for having me and just thanks to everybody for all the support. It's just pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and best of luck this season. I'm sure that you know the way that you're driving and the way you started your career, you're going to be one to watch for sure over the next few years. So best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, well, that's another edition of the Behind the Gate with Scott and Kate, brought to you by Advanced Appetite. And this is our fourth episode, and we'll be back with our fifth episode next week. So we'll have a guest scheduled for next week, and we'll let you know who that is. But for myself and Kate and guest Monica, we'd like to thank you very much for tuning in and all the best.